Brian Freeman, Greg Hollenback, Jay Parker back at the mothership in Denver, Colorado, at Studio Kitchen, Colorado. Hyde N Chic. When somebody tells you to go see somebody that's local and they recommend it and they go, you have to visit with this gentleman, we're in for a treat. You laugh a little bit.
Yes.
All right. Come to it. Chef Hyde, how are you?
Chic, baby, chic. That's all I can tell you.
Chic, baby, chic.
Chic, baby, chic.
Introduce. Come on, give me the formal introduction of yourself in Hollywood, because Mr. Hollywood.
Mr. Hollywood.
Slate your name.
All right.
Slate your name.
So, slating my name is Andy, A-N-D-Y.
Yes.
It's not an A-N-D-I.
No.
A-N-D-Y.
It's all man, right?
Larte.
That's
my
the middle
Ghanaian
name.
middle name.
Okay.
It's L-A-R-T-E-Y.
T-E-Y.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Larte. And the last name, Hyde.
And there is born Hyde N Chic.
Yes. H-Y-D-E.
So thank you for allowing us to be in your home.
You're so lucky.
Listen,
So
I think
lucky.
we are, because we're
yes.
fast friends now.
Yeah.
We have we've had dinner with you. He is.
Yeah.
We're going to learn about you. We're going to learn about why local and people doing business locally and recommending other people. Michael.
Yeah.
From Blue Star.
Jesus. Illhorn.
Would you talk about him for a second?
Michael. So Mikey, I call him. Oh, man. The guy, Jesus, he's been through so much with me. So I moved down here back in 2013. And Michael Illhorn, he works for Blue Star Seafood. I think his partner also over there, but we just don't tell anybody. But
he might not know.
He might not even know. I think he just gets one of those checks.
Yeah.
He just like,
don't show up. See what happens.
Exactly. Just give him all the free fish. But no, Mike works with local fishermen over here, and the company that he worked with the owner has been operating since the last 25 years. Local dude, total chilled, conservative, chilled, cool, redneck.
He's all over the place.
He's all over the place, but Mike is just Mikey.
Yeah.
You know, the guy just go by his words.
He said he was a chef.
Him?
Yeah. Back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah.
And he said he didn't want to do that anymore, but he wanted to stay connected and in the business.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's where he went with.
Well, that's the story that he told me. I never saw him cooking yet, so I've seen him a lot of filleting. So I can tell you that he's a very good. What's this fucking guy looking at?
I think he's one of your customers.
I'm sorry.
People love you. I love.
All right, Hyde N Chic. We're in your restaurant right now. We're talking about Michael. He's the guy.
No, Mike. No, all jokes aside, Mike is awesome. He's amazing. You know, you can call the guy at 3:00 in the morning. He will not answer, but guess what? Whatever you want, if you leave him a message, he definitely delivers. And if you can't make it happen, he'll just tell you, you know what, I can't make it happen.
Brian, didn't he say he had a special, just one route?
Yeah.
Per day,
one route
just to clean things up.
Exactly. At 10 o'clock,
That's
he said, I'm sending
service.
my last truck out.
Absolutely.
To make sure everyone gets taken care of.
Yeah.
And
Mike is actually, you know, when I met him back in 2013, funny, I was the executive chef at La Playa. I just moved down from Chicago, and I was running their private dining room, which had 170 seats with like 600 members. So every single night, you know, you're pumping it out. 5 months, you're doing like $1.6 million in revenue, so on and so forth. And I will always run into shit because Naples is just one of those places that I have never gotten that many curveballs by customers. One day they will love sea bass, the next day they want grouper, and then the next day they want salmon, and forget about the other orders that you had before, you know? So
order off the menu guys.
Yeah, you just have to you just have to think so smartly, so quickly on your toes. And they're members because, you know, they pay a fee.
Sure.
So it's not the regular restaurant. And predominantly my background stems from restaurants, hotels. And that was pretty much it. But as far as like a private club member, you know, the guest is the king, but now this is the guest. The guest is like the fucking man.
Yeah. Now your world, and I want to get into. It's like, how do we describe you in 60 seconds?
I know.
I'm gonna see if you can. So 60 seconds, and then so if you could do you in 60 seconds, that'll be tough, right? And we'll do more.
Yeah.
But of course, you in 60 seconds, and then we'll talk about what you tell us the food in Southwest Florida right here. What is that customer looking for? Do they know what they're looking for? Is it going to be forward with you and your suggestions, or are they bringing their cultures? Because let's face it, this is a real melting pot from people all over the world. They call this the waiting room.
Absolutely. I spent the last good 5 years actually answering those questions that you're actually asking.
Thank you.
No bollocks. What is the food of Naples? What I can tell you is that the food of Naples is fresh, organic, healthy.
Really?
And not just a normal côte de boeuf, mashed potatoes, and a gravy. That was back in the days, like 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Now today, if I make a beautiful salsa fee mashed potato with a fillet and sweetbreads, they'll eat it. So what is the food of Naples? It's yet to be defined.
All right, I want to take a reset right here. Okay, Chef Andy Hyde.
This guy
we're at Hyde N
awesome.
Chic. I'm doing what you should be doing right now. Take the stream, share it. I'm sharing it to all of my friends, all of my family, all the groups that I know, and actually the local groups. 239. What are some of the local Facebook groups?
23. It's Foodies Ideas Group.
I am sharing it right now.
Foodies Ideas Group, and then you have what's his name? Raphael Feliciano. That's his page right here.
Yeah, we hope you guys are doing the same thing. So we're sharing.
Sizzle. It's called Sizzle Southwest Florida Restaurant. Sizzle Southwest Florida Restaurant.
Okay, so guys, thanks for tuning in right now. So let's talk about you, and really, I mean, how do you do it in 60 seconds? But just give an overall landscape of who you are, Chef.
Who I am, I was born in Ghana, which is West Africa, 1982. In 4 days, I will be 38. I came to Germany. I moved to Germany from Ghana when I was 8 years old. When I was 5 years old, my mom and my dad pretty much separated. My dad went to Germany, mom went to Chicago. So between the age from 8 years old till 14, I was always going back and forth, Germany, Chicago. I did that like twice. And then at the age of 13, I told my parents, you know what, screw this. I'll figure it out on my own. Because my dad wanted to send me back to Africa because back in the days in Chicago, just being in elementary school, you will automatically get recruited to gangs and so on and so forth. So long story short, I was always getting in trouble till I was freaking 20 when I started culinary school. That's when I found a love for something to get out of trouble, right? Makes sense. And so I resigned in Germany from the age of 14 all the way to 23. This is more than 60 seconds.
Yeah.
I love it.
And 14 to 23. So in the meantime, while I was in Germany from 14 to 23, I had a caretaker family, and they were vegetarians, which was / my childhood best friend. Today, still my best friend, and I'm the godfather to all her kids. Her family is still my family, and her dad is my godfather. He's a boxer, taught me how to get out of trouble smartly, not just and it is what it is. At 15, he pretty much gave me the guidelines of how to win and how to fail. And by that being said, so simply today as an adult, I can say is you can either do it the right way, or you can continue being stupid and you will fail. You will never come
so
back,
funny
right?
that you say that.
And so age of 20, the opportunities were there to get into a trade. And culinary was one of the elements that he saw that would be my fit. I didn't think that was my fit at all because I was just hustling. I mean, you know, I lived on my own when I was 16 years old in Germany. Somebody call it Nazi Germany.
But depends, how old were you?
Yeah, I was 16 years old, and I was on my own.
That was like 1998.
And you're 37 now?
Yeah, 37. I was born in 82, September.
Yeah, makes sense.
Remember, the wall just came down in 91.
Absolutely.
90,
Yeah, I was one of those first black kids and black young kids with a, Caucasian stepmother in Hanover and city. That's where I was pretty much raised.
Someone said food was your future.
Yeah, absolutely. Food is my medicine. Food is my medicine, the cure to all the bullshit, pretty much. The obstacles.
It's interesting. You say the right way, the wrong way. As I talk to people a lot, I said it's just it takes just as much effort to do things the right way as it does the wrong way.
Absolutely.
I spent half of my life trying to figure out how to
skirt
the system or take a left-hand turn. Yeah,
just a single breath.
And go ahead and do things right. Okay, so here we begin. This is where it gets good. Now we start talking about the real ins and outs. Food, business, culture, where we're at, community. Community's big to us.
Yes.
Right? So obviously people have looked to you and said, hey, listen, this is a guy you have to go talk to.
I know. Well, this is like your community.
Exactly.
Right? That's what he said. I mean, Michael is like, this is the guy that really is screaming passion of food.
So passion meets business at this point in time. You and I have a lot in common to it, where it's like a lot of times in life we just figured out how to get from point A to point B quickly, efficiently, however we could talk to that. But now you have to set down these roots in business, own your own restaurant. Talk about where we're at right now with Hyde N Chic.
Hyde N Chic came together.
Chic baby.
Chic baby chic.
Chic baby chic.
Chic baby chic.
Okay.
Because you can't chic without the baby. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to figure it out right now.
How Hyde N Chic came together was through discipline of all of the, I would say, obstacles and whimsical challenges that life just.
You could be doing the resort life though right now, man. You could have this little cush job, and you're the guy, the good-looking guy that comes through. You're just pushing through. You could do all that right now.
I did that, and that was not impacting and actually making a change. It was more.
You put a lot of work into where you're at. Talk about the location you're at.
To put a lot
blood and sweat.
Blood and sweat. This was a total shit show.
All right,
it was a total dump.
Yeah, tell us.
And so you want to?
So you got the chef cred.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, you can be anywhere. I mean, we call this. So
I took this dump. You want to hear about Hyde N Chic?
I totally
how
do.
This place came together?
Because this is the Naples Laundry.
This is real. You know what, bro? So you just give me a 5. You finally got it. You finally got it.
This is the Naples Laundry. When you know it,
I am proud. You're actually going to get a T-shirt when you walk out of here because you remembered it. This is the Naples Laundry.
Yeah.
So we're right next to 2 laundromats. Mm-hmm. The one next to
a nail salon.
Oh yeah,
and a massage parlor.
And the dog shop. Yeah,
you have to come here.
You have to come here. So this is called the Seabreeze Plaza. It's one of the grandfathered in plazas, one of the only ones 2 miles into downtown Naples. There has never been a fine dining restaurant in the strip mall at all. This used to be called the Lunch Bucket, Yana Eats, and
wasn't it Jimmy John's or Sub Shop? Or
no, it was a sub. Yeah, it's, not the third one. I can't remember right now, but it's okay. That's how important
it was. A spot.
It was the spot to get a $2 sandwich.
Yeah. So how do you change it over?
How you change it over is you come in here. And you see what I pretty much saw, which is envision what you can make out of nothing, which is a dump. Most people, I think, and I have seen throughout my career, they envision a restaurant, to own a restaurant. When I say people, I'm just speaking just based on chefs. Right? Yeah. To own a restaurant, you have to have a sponsor, which you do. You have to have a lot of money, which you definitely do. But most importantly, what I have learned within the last good 4.5 years of being persistent and really consistent about being okay with the possibly failure. Mm-hmm. It's actually learning from the failures on an every single day basis and having set foundation of your goal. My goal was simple. My goal was this: to be able to have about 6 tables to seat about 30 people, 28 people, and just cook food for them. The food that I've been cooking the last 18 years, food that I was trained with, food that inspired me when I was waking up in Africa. My mom was not there. My dad was not there. Migrating to Germany, learning what kohlrabi is. All of this stuff, coming to Chicago, eating chicken, going back to Germany and being vegetarian. All of this is in here in Hyde N Chic.
Doesn't seem like a tall order. And there you go. You have the dream. You have the passion. Boom. COVID hits.
Absolutely.
It turns around. We need to take a break.
Yeah.
Jay, can we take a break? We'll come right back. And this is just this is exactly what we billboarded it to be. You want to talk about local? You want to talk about people that are moving the needle? Do you want to talk about passion? How does passion meet business?
Wow.
And what happens when business says, well, hey, listen, we didn't do anything, but now we have COVID, and we need to survive. A little bit's going on right here. I'm starting to see things change around. Have you ever floated a floor? It's not an easy thing. When you're a great cook and you're trying to get things done, you look around and you say, how do I have the best experience possible? We'll take a break. We'll come right back. This is what it's all about. Hyde N Chic, man. And we're in
Shake,
baby, shake. All right.
Shake, baby, shake, you know.
And thank you. Okay. This is a treat. We're in Naples, Florida right now. We'll be right back. The Modern Eater Show continues.
We started Meridian Spirits because we love the way that spirits and cocktails can bring people together to socialize, to bond, to have conversations. Well, right now we've got some big conversations to have. Coop Vodka and Coop Gin are available at liquor stores across the metro area, but if you can't find us or would like to have us behind your bar or at your restaurant, send us an email, info@meridianspirits.com. We know things are a little different these days, but think of us the next time you're planning a virtual happy hour or a socially distant picnic. And keep an eye on our social media, Coop by Meridian, for all the latest and greatest.
Hey, Dave Thibodeau here. Hey, friends of the Modern Eater. This is Dave Thibodeau from Ska Brewing and Peach Street Distillers. I wanted to let you know that our new brew distillery is up and running again in Boulder. And we've got a great selection of Ska beers. Nearly 30 on tap. We've also got all of our Peach Street spirits available. A great mixology program that we brought down from the Western Slope and Palisade. We're open limited hours, Wednesday through Friday from 3 to 10. And then we open up earlier at 10 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday and get some brunch action rolling. We have 2 great patios. Socially distant seating is available. And you can always check for more information at scastreet.com and hope we become your new favorite neighborhood spot. And I'd like to meet you there in the not too distant future for a beer or a drink soon. So take care, be healthy, and stay strong. And I'll talk to you later.
Hi guys, it's Cody Ann from Aspen Baking Company. We specialize in fresh, preservative-free, amazing bread. But with all the food news, go right here to the Modern Eater.
Hey, Zach Ryder here, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products out of Lamar, Colorado. Your only local source, grown from a local crop to produce a local oil for local chefs. You can find it at Shamrock Foods, What Chefs Want, Seattle Fish Company. Let me try it one more time, then we'll see. Hey, restaurants, we're glad you're reopening. From Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil, we'll see you soon.
First, we partner with the best farmers in the world, and then we tell them, we will take it all. Process whole spices daily, blend custom spices to order, keep it fresh, safe, and flavorful, all so that you can get back to doing what you do best. So whether you're a restaurant, a food manufacturer, or an at-home cook, be sure to visit The Spice Guy at www.thespiceguyco.com.
Okay, back at it, and thank you. You're going to hear from Michael. I mean, that was great. Blue Star Seafood. We were there earlier on today. We started talking. We just dig in. We said, okay, yeah, we're in the area, and here it is. Chef Andy Hyde. And show momentarily, but I have to tell you about Jeff Work in A Plus Beverage Solutions. He's the man, the most trusted man in the business when it comes to installing tap lines. Why? Because you want that beer to taste like the brewer intended it to taste, Brian.
Yes, you do.
That's what you have to do. Not only is he going to make the tap lines of your dreams, he's going to do maintenance as well.
Yep, clean them out. Right now is the time.
Got to clean them out. Clean out those lines. He's got a special for you. All you have to do is give him a call. If you're pouring inefficient beer, what are you doing, boys?
You're pouring your money down the drain.
Please do not pour your money down the drain. Every cent counts right now. Am I wrong, Chef?
Yes, sir.
I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong.
All right, give him a call. 720-272-3809.
Can I have his number, too?
One more time.
Yes,
720-272-3809. It's Jeff Work and A Plus Beverage Solutions. Come on down to Florida, right? Yeah. Hyde N Chic. Chic, baby, chic.
Chic, baby, chic. You already know.
That's what it's about.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Local fish. We got good fish from Michael. We cooked it up. It was good stuff today.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank
We're
you.
talking about the, how do you...
Shout out to Juan.
Juan.
Shout out to Juan.
You did it.
Yes,
Juan's
sir.
your executive, I guess.
Juan is the chef de tournade at Hyde N Chic. He's the prodigy, straight from Colombia, Cali, Colombia, and this African over here. We call it AC.
Chic, baby.
You know why? Because, African Colombia, we be cool in it.
Here we are, Southwest Florida. We're talking about cuisine. We're talking. So in Fort Myers, Florida, and we were up in Cape Coral yesterday at Gather.
Yep,
it was a great day.
Cool restaurant.
Yeah, Chef John.
John Hill.
Incredible
guy.
It was just great.
the whole
one thing leads to another.
Yep.
And here we are today.
Well, one good chef to another is what I would say, because Chef John Hill said, hey, you got to check out my fish.
Yep.
My fish guy says, hey, you got to check out one of my Naples guys.
Yeah. And before we broke off, we said, here's the deal. It may be one thing. Okay, you're going to navigate a restaurant and the margins are slim. You're just making no money and you have to turn this around. And Chef, you said, all I really want this to be is kind of like my home, to where you're going to come and you're going to eat my cuisine and you're going to sit at the tables here and I'm going to do the turns. It's going to be at your pace, but this is going to be your place to come into my home. And then boom, COVID hits, turns everything on its ear. Where do you go from there?
COVID was a blessing to me.
What did it do?
To me, in a sense of, I love risk, right? And when COVID hit, I needed this extra challenge. The challenge to think smarter on my foot. And when COVID hit, everybody said, oh, shit. I said, oh, yes. Now is the time for me to change the format. And the format that we have today is this. And it worked very, 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 very well after COVID. You come into the restaurant in Naples, I would say 99.9% of the restaurants are all a la carte restaurants. It's very hard to do a tasting menu at a restaurant. Most restaurants in Naples are huge. In order to actually have an intimate private dining, which Hyde N Chic is, that is our brand. There is no way how I can showcase you the dining experience in a larger setting. So during COVID, I said to myself, going back and revising all the numbers and stuff, what is actually the price that people are willing to pay to actually have a dining experience or give us a chance to showcase them our dining experience over here? The sweet price point that I figured out, and it worked, was $65. You come in for $65, you can pick any item on the menu, 3 courses, $65. You want to jump into 4 courses, $80. Now, this works so smartly because now I can give them the option of having a chef's choice, pick the menu for you. And so, COVID was a blessing. It cost me a little bit more money, but it actually reached my goal, which was for me to showcase people my dining and culinary expertise, I'll say.
Well, what's interesting is COVID will bring people into a place to where you're going to try something that you haven't tried before. We called it the pruning of the tree. It's anytime that you're into harvest or when you're into how do we cultivate the best product on a tree, you prune back so that you can have the most delicious fruit, fortified fruit. If you don't prune, if you don't figure out, hey, can I do that job? Where's my business? Where's the fat?
Yeah.
Well, and also pivot, right, Greg?
Yeah,
because
bringing back
you might have to really understand if I get half of the fruit, maybe I need to jar it this year and sell it as jam because people will pay $15 for 1 pound of jam, but they'll only pay $5 for 1 pound of fresh fruit.
I like where you're going with this because the seed that I needed to obtain in order to have a stem was the private chef service that I started back in November 29th, 2015 as a private chef service. It was called Chef Hyde Gourmet, which today is an umbrella of Hyde N Chic. So we are a restaurant and a private chef service company. So during the season, which starts in October, you can either rent out the whole restaurant or you can have us cater privately into your home. And Chef Hyde is there.
So full circle. Here's what I want to ask you. Now that you're in that entrepreneurial ship, you're not a wantrepreneur.
I've never heard that one. That's a good one.
You're an entrepreneur. You're all in. You push the chips in. That's it, right?
Good, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
I bet you have bank accounts linked to everything's legit. There's accounts.
No girlfriends.
You see what I'm saying? So from entrepreneurship into entrepreneurship, a talented chef coming into the business world, you got to rely on other people around you, because you have to release that to other folks to envision your dream and realize your dream as well. Yeah. The question I ask you is that you must be hard on other people around you that you're trying to get to the goal that you want to be at.
It's a very tough question. And, I've been asked that before. And now today I can answer that with the definition between leadership and management. Once you understand the difference between leadership and management, then you can think freely. When I was in school back in 2002 in Germany, my chef always said to me this, and he would literally slap that into me. He was 37 years old at the time and was a teacher in our school, works at 2-star Michelin restaurants, so on and so forth. He says, the day you can make a profit, make a living with your big mouth, then you have understood the business, because I did it. Yeah, and he owned the restaurant and pretty much was very successful, so on and so forth, and sold it. But to understand the business side of it has to do also with understanding what true leadership is. And I have broken a lot of rules, which by many I was told, no, you can't make it, it won't work, so on and so forth. My strength is I'm not afraid to fail. And when I was working for Thomas Keller in Beverly Hills, it was like a freaking light bulb. Walking down the hallway, one of the phrases under this picture was, never be afraid to fail. Oh my God. I thought, fuck yeah, bro, I'm in heaven.
Isn't that something?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And,
liberating.
Yeah. And I think, and I see that more so than ever. That's why I have a certain culture in order to vet the proper and the right person for the job. So it takes time. You can interview here. Yeah, you will start for a couple of days. You will get paid full for a couple of days. But maybe after 2 weeks, you might not get the job because it's not the right balance. For 2021, I told my team, that's our main key point, balance. Front of the house, back of the house, service, customer, everything should have a balance. And the way we can only obtain that is by day-to-day analyzing our mistakes, not just the successes, but our mistakes. And that's how Hyde N Chic came together. I love my mistakes, and I'll always do the best I can out of it.
Let me ask,
chic, baby, chic.
Yeah.
Chic, baby, chic.
I'm coming to Denver, bro.
Yeah,
I'm coming to Denver.
That's it, chic, baby, chic. Huh? Go ahead.
Well, it's this front of the house, back of the house.
Well, that balance hasn't been there.
That's what I would ask. Is that the business?
That's where now.
Yes, that is the business. Yeah. That is the business of a huge failure. The aha that I saw, not to name dropping and so on and so forth. When I was working for the big boys, the 2 stars, the 3 stars Michelin restaurant, whether it's in Los Angeles, Spain, so on and so forth, that I saw that was a huge failure in there. No, it was not. It was not right. Right? It was an imbalance, and once that happens, then it's a huge headache. The chef or the operator or the business or the investors should go home knowing that everybody is happy at the place where they're at. But that is our team. Our team should be solid. And how to really select the right team, you have to be a good coach.
And that's where it goes into how do you build a process?
Well,
how do you build a
culture?
The culture
in a kitchen, which is so hard. And we talked about that earlier. Is listen, a lot of kitchens, and we were dealing with this the other day with Chef John. You have drugs and alcohol and things that are a big distraction.
Yeah, absolutely.
For what? That's just one piece, though. Yeah. That's just one layer. Mm-hmm. When then you have some chefs or people that might say, my menu is so great. What I'm doing in the kitchen is at such a high level that I can't give you a customer experience that you want to enjoy. And it's going to be, this is the customer experience I want you to have, as opposed to, and so it's interesting what you're talking about, because I think everyone might get an opportunity right now.
Yeah.
Is to realize how to blend those two.
Yeah. How to really blend those two, I think is the ultimate real success. And the diners feel it The community, most and foremost, feel it. And to tap into the point where you're talking about, I see that more so than often that most businesses, restaurateurs, forget actually that the real foundation stems from the teens, the 16, the 17, the 18, the 19, the 20. Because how many restaurants have you been to that you see adults working, they're over 20, but they don't have this foundation, being told what is right and what is wrong with patience. I work with the Naples High School since the last 2 years. We have in our company about 8 kids within the last year that have came in to work with us, and it's called on-the-job training. So pretty
like
much,
a quick start program.
It's a quick start program, and they get acclimated. So I don't start them off at minimum wage. I pay them $3 more than the average. I mean, Naples is like $7, $8, so they start off $11. And here's the simple, accountability.
Best way to go.
Yeah, the simple accountability is show up on time, be dressed properly, respond properly. Not, hey, dude, what's up? Yeah, chef. You need to get... No, learn how to speak and communicate properly. Because collaboration stems from communication. A lot of people ask me, like, oh, man, you speak so well English, so on and so forth. The best thing that I did when my parents left was learn to listen. Learn to listen to my environment. It doesn't matter whether it's the birds or the trees or whatever. Just learn to listen. Huh?
We have 2 of these and 1 of these for a reason.
Absolutely.
Who are you? This is where we end, but this is where we begin because we have new friends.
Chic, baby. Chic, baby.
Chic, baby. I mean, who are you, man? I mean,
Chic, baby, chic.
I'm a huge fan to begin with. And we could be anywhere and listen, we're going to come back and you're going to be our guide.
Thank you so much. Chic,
Spirit
baby,
guide. Chic, baby, chic.
Chic, baby, chic.
Whew. It was, I'm telling you, we got led the right direction, and it didn't disappoint.
I think we need one more shot. Bro.
Thank you.
I like that. I like
You're the
that.
man.
So
and as much as
you're always welcome here. Hope
are we? I hope you. We
next time you'll be
either.
here for a 16-course tasting menu, because that's actually what we also do.
Tell us more.
It goes from 3-course to even 20-course. The maximum that we've done was 17 courses over there in that little corner. Chef, just cook us whatever. And literally at 10:30, they came at 6 o'clock to 10:30. Stop, they said. Not in those words, but chef, tap out. And that was one of the best moments, because if I can do that out of a dog shop, right? It doesn't matter. I don't have to be on Beverly Hills or Fifth Avenue or have the $2,000 chandelier and so on and so forth. You just need the space, the right vibe, the right team.
That's my guy.
Right?
Wait, and chef, can I break a secret? This is a guy. Earlier tonight, we're walking around his kitchen. I love you for saying this, man.
Thank you.
I got to tell you.
Thank you so
much. We're walking back
Robert.
there, and he says, "You know, man, I did $100,000 out of that toaster oven."
Yep.
Well, he said, I had to get
$109,000. I'm sorry, $109,000. So when we first opened, real quick. So when we first opened. My landlord is my landlord, and God bless his heart, he's awesome. But business is business. So I always wanted to have an induction stove in the kitchen in America when I have my restaurant, just to keep my sauces perfect, temperature right then and there. So the electricity that we have here, I needed 40 more amps to it. Long story short, we're going back and forth, and I was being so stubborn. I told every single cook over here, guess what? I've got 3 oyster toaster ovens. We're going to make it happen. They were dropping like flies. And guess who stayed? My 16, 17-year-old kids. And we were banging out 30 covers over here, like $3,000, $4,000 nights in this small little freaking 1,100 square foot. You know what I mean, bro?
Yeah.
This is the
3
guy.
months,
this is
bro.
what it's about. I mean,
yes.
This is it. This is like.
Hey, Jay, do you have anything to say to this, Jay?
No, man, I'm just enjoying it. I'm thinking about, what I'm playing next. I think I want to play Chef Rebecca.
All right, what do we have next?
I want to do Chef Rebecca first because, well, let me ask you this question. And Chef, it's a pleasure
Thank you so much,
to
Jay.
be on with you. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Greg, let me ask you this. So I was going to play the fish video you guys made today.
Makes sense next
on YouTube with the sound for you guys through Zoom.
I wanted Michael to give a setup for. I'm sorry. I wanted Chef Hyde to give us a setup to Michael.
Yeah,
I mean, I can do that,
Absolutely.
but am I playing it in the Zoom room with you guys to watch, or are you guys
No,
discontinuing?
we're taking off. We got the dinner reservations at Boleyn at 7.
So I'm just gonna say, okay, I'm just gonna go back on this Chef Mike. I'll call him right now, Chef Mike.
Yeah.
So my fishmonger # Chef Mike back in the day is a badass butcher. No, seriously.
You said he was gangster with his knife.
He's gangster with his knife. Like and he just talks so slow, and he'll just butcher you 100 pounds in like an hour and like no sleep. I'm like, what the fuck? Bro?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yes.
He's good.
Make it a magnetic Mike.
Yeah, that's Mike.
You text him at 3 o'clock in the morning, you'll just still get it.
He'll get it. Yeah, he makes it happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So from Naples, Florida to Denver, Colorado. Thank you very much, and Chic Baby Chic.
Thank you so much, guys. You guys are awesome.
Hopefully, did you enjoy the interview?
I love the interview. You guys are awesome.
I appreciate it.
You're always welcome back. The next time the door won't be locked like this.
I think he just wants us to stay. Okay, Jay, we're back to Denver, Colorado from Studio Kitchen, Colorado. This is going to be a pleasure. Go ahead and take a break. Come right back. Do Aspen Baking Company. Show that video of Chef Michael from Blue Star Seafood. And then we'll talk to Chef Rebecca Weitzman. We're on the road as we do that. Okay, we're going to kick the rock down the road. It's Friday. It's a Friday. And thank you to everybody. September 11th.
This guy rocked.
Everybody take a moment. Remember, 19 years ago today, September 11th, it was one of those days to where everybody knew where they were.
Just
I certainly knew where I was.
Yeah.
Well, just remember the day. It was a very important day in American history. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to kick the rock on down the road, heading to Boleyn.
Yes,
and
Boleyn.
that's in the La Playa Resort in Naples, Florida. Thank you very much for tuning in. You've got some good stuff coming up next.
Hi guys, it's Rebecca Berry with Hot Schedules powered by Ford. With all of the recent COVID rules and regulations, you may feel like you have way too many cooks in the kitchen. Well, fortunately, Ford is the leading hospitality provider and partner when it comes to onboarding, HR, payroll, tax, and compliance needs. So that way you can keep all of those cooks in the kitchen and let us manage all of your administrative needs. That way you can focus back on your business and your growth plans. Give me a call for an analysis on how we can put that ROI back into your business and take those administrative burdens off your hands. Because nobody likes handling taxes. That's rebecca.berry@forth.com, rebecca.berry@forth.com. And hey, you know what's cool, guys? Keeping your mask on so that way we can keep our doors open.
Hey Modern Eater fans, I'm Don Trobo with the Annex by Ardent Mills, and I just wanted to give you a heads up about some of the great things we've got going on locally in the state. We're headquartered right here, and we're working with farmers in the San Luis Valley to bring you amazing Colorado quinoa. It's just like the South American stuff, but grown locally. We've got transitional wheat flour that's grown by farmers in Colorado and surrounding states who are in the process of turning their fields into organic. So we're taking that transitional wheat and turning it into flour, and now it's available for you to cook and bake with. And last but not least, we're now cleaning grain berries in Denver. So things like spelt or wheat berries or pearl barley, those are things that we're now doing right here locally and are available to you. Can't wait to share it with you.
Hey, Colorado restaurant and food service operators. This is Rich O'Brien along with Pearson Shields over here at Elevation Food Service Reps. And we wanted to let you guys know that at the end of the month, on the 23rd and 24th, here at our global headquarters in Park Hill, Colorado, Denver, Colorado, we're going to be having our demo sale where you can buy great products gently used for an excellent price. And we want to invite you over, and you know, chefs, I know you all know Pearson, and he can vouch that these are pretty good products. It's going to be a good price.
No, absolutely. We used them, gently used them, and we're super excited. We're doing some good food as well.
Well, by you.
Some chicken. I'll be cooking.
Yeah, we got Pearson cooking, and hey guys, come over this way too. And don't mind the young woman right there. She's just kind of hanging out and hiding. But we have all this equipment here that we're going to be doing our best to sell and get out of here. So any questions, give us a call over here at Elevation, 303-750-3727 or at elevationfs.com. And if you have any questions about the equipment, just give Pearson a holler. Thanks, guys.
Hey there, Barbecue All-Star. This is your year, so what if you weren't drafted? The only draft you need to be worried about is actually spelled D-R-A-U-G-H-T, and it's adult for the word beer. It's barbecue season, baby. Now get out there and grill your ass off.
Hey guys, it's Brian Rizzuto with Encore Energy, the guy who saves your businesses money on natural gas. I know these are crazy, crazy times right now. So while your business is working on increasing your sales, let me work on saving you guys money on your natural gas. I make it as easy as possible. Just provide 12 months worth of natural gas bills to me. I'll do the rest. I know you're really busy, so let me get to work for you. You can reach me at 720-245-5771. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and let me try to save you some money in these crazy times. Bye.
Hi, Charlie from Brews Beers here, and I'd like to tell you about our brand new Abbey 4-pack, featuring the 4 main products of Abbey and Trappist breweries in Belgium. So there's the single, the double, the triple, and the quadruple. And let's talk about singles today. Singles or ankles are traditionally monks' beers served at meal times and during the day. They're low in alcohol, 3 to 5.5%, and they're often second runnings from stronger beers like triples or quadruples. This one is 3.8% ABV, and it's made from the second runnings from our triple. So what they're known for is lightness and drinkability. They're biscuity flavor with distinct hoppiness, and they're very refreshing. Great summer beers, available at either Brews location, 67th and Pecos, or at Colfax in York, and at fine liquor stores throughout the metro area. Pick up your Abbey 4-pack today, and take home some Belgian-style badassery.
Back to the show in just a second. I want to tell you something very, very serious. The other day, I went to aspenbaking.com, and when I opened that front door, and that smell of fresh bread came pumping through, I almost freaked out. It was so good. Since 1994, Aspen Baking Company has been making the most delicious bread on planet Earth. You're going to find focaccia. You're going to find hoagies, bear claws, lobster rolls, pound cakes, coffee cakes, batards. My favorite, and I talk about it all the time, is the sourdough bowl. You cut it off the top, you grill that, you carve it out, you put that on there, you grill that too. You put any soup you want in the world, and it's the most delicious thing on planet Earth. AspenBaking.com is where you go to find these delicious breads, but you're not going to find the chemicals, you're not going to find the artificial coloring, you're not going to find them freezing your bread and then thawing it out and selling it to different places. They don't get down like that, not at all. But they do get down with hashtag how's your Aspen. If you bake it, they make it. It's Aspen Baking Company, aspenbaking.com. I've told you a million times. I'm going to tell you a million times going forward. If you're a bread person, Aspen Baking is your life. They just do it right. Go get some bread. Now, I'm going to play a video from earlier. The boys were visiting Blue Star Seafood in Fort Myers, Florida. You're going to see some fish getting cut up, so don't freak out or anything, but that's what's about to happen, assuming that my computer does what it's supposed to do. This is the Modern Eater Show.
Hanging out, you gathered together some delicious fish from the Gulf. You're going to go through these with us. First of all, can you give us 30 seconds on Blue Star, what you do here?
Well, Blue Star Seafood is a local company, pretty much based out of Fort Myers. We only service the Fort Myers, Collier County, Lee County area. And some of the fish I just pulled out for you, take a look at it. This is basically the fish that you'll catch here in Florida. So Blue Star carries a long line of different fresh seafood all around the country, and some imported from the Mediterranean and over in Europe. But the fish I pulled out for you today is basically what you'll catch here in Southwest Florida.
Switch sides
and also
with
the
me
East
so we
Coast.
can hear you real well. There we go. Thank you. Go ahead.
So some of the fish I just pulled out for you is some hog snapper. These generally can get much bigger, but we have only in stock today that are kind of on the smaller side. These are about like 1 to 1.5 pounders. Back here we have black grouper, which this is a carburetor, which is what they consider a true black grouper. Underneath here is the red grouper, which you pretty much catch the most here. When our fishermen go out and fish here locally right out of Fort Myers Beach, about 80% of their catch will be the red grouper.
So black and red, what's the difference?
The red, as far as I'll tell you from like the taste profile, that you'll generally have on the black grouper, they're generally bigger. They're a little bit, I would say a little bit more firmer, a little bit more meatier. The red grouper, some would say maybe it's a little bit more sweeter. The texture is a little bit more soft.
Which one's a predator?
Both are good.
Which one's a predator? Which one's a bottom feeder?
No, neither one of them are pretty much bottom feeders. They're both pretty much, they don't migrate that far, either one. They like to stay around shipwrecks. Basically see anything that good that passes them, and they'll, smaller fish and swallow it up. Down here, we got golden tile. This is actually more so coming from the east coast of Florida. Generally, we get most of our stuff from the northern part on the east coast of Florida, around Jacksonville.
That's a cool looking fish.
Yeah, it is. It's a good, really nice white meat too.
Can you open up the mouth on that one?
Sure. There you can see in there. Really
got quite the tongue on him.
I think the most prehistoric one is usually like the hog. The way they have like their teeth and the way their mouth opens up like that. Over here we got, which is also very, very popular, which you'll see in a lot of the menus in the restaurant in Florida, is yellowtail snapper.
Yep, here it is.
Very especially very popular down in the Keys. This is, as far as size-wise, this, I don't have an American red snapper, but this is a mutton snapper. They're generally a lot bigger fillet, a lot bigger than like their brother or sister, the yellowtail. And the last one here is a triple tail.
Now we had that last night at Gather.
Oh yeah,
it was delicious.
It's good. It's a good fish. It's not as plentiful as the grouper or snapper, but yeah, when we get it in, it does seem to be a pretty popular item.
Now, triple tail, you can figure that one out right there. Yeah, why they call it triple tail. Yeah. That's a unique look to the fish there. I'm wondering.
They don't, or it's almost like a bycatch, unlike the, some of the snappers and stuff. They can catch in great quantities. These guys like to hang out around buoys when they're fishing for them up on the surface. That's how they sort of target the triple tail. So it's harder to catch in bigger quantities.
Michael, is that yellowtail, is that tied to a tuna at all? Is that snapper and tuna no relation, right?
No, not that I know of. The shrimp you're just filming over here, this is king shrimp, which they catch here right in Florida too. It was like Florida gold. I think we have the best shrimp in all the world right here in the Gulf of Mexico.
At what point's it a prawn?
Pretty much when you speak of a prawn, it's usually what you would consider when it still has the head on it. And other people refer to, like if they're talking about a bigger one with the head, they refer to more as prawns. You can refer to the one's head off too, but generally people just mention like it was pink shrimp.
Now clear up something for me, Michael. Those are red, which I always thought they're red, they're cooked.
No, these are pink shrimp. So they already at a raw state have a nice pink color.
Yeah.
This is a very, very beautiful, clean shrimp.
They look
like I said, we got the best shrimp, and not only in America, but I think all of the world right here in the Gulf of Mexico.
Are you eating those for dinner tonight?
I think I might.
Why wouldn't you? Okay, so we're
And this I just want to show you too. This is clams that they catch right here out of Pine Island. We'll say catch, but they harvest them right here in Pine Island, which is only about 20 miles west of us, Pine Island, which is a very great harvester. And that's basically we carry all our clams from them that we service through here at Blue Star.
Well, you have a knife out. Is that just coincidence, or were you going to show us something?
That's up to you. You want me to pull out a fish and show you something neat or something like that?
I mean, we'll take whatever you'll do, we'll take. If it's something that's going to be an inconvenience, don't worry about it.
Well, let's take, which one would you be interested in looking at? I'm sure you already seen the grouper before. It's quite common.
That's true.
Triple tail you had last night.
That's right.
Let's try the big golden tile.
Well, let me, and you turned us on to a French chef of yours that we're probably going to go see here. What if we brought him a little treat with us?
Oh, you're talking about Chef Andy Hyde?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. He's not French, but he does cook French cuisine.
What do you think he'd like to have that's just fresh that maybe he could cook for us really quick?
You know what? Let's do, he's good with anything that you hand him. but he does like to be on the greater side. So let's give him. We'll see what he'll do for you tonight with the golden top.
Let's do it. Okay. All right, this is cool. What a treat this is.
Just give me about a minute. Let me get some gloves.
No, you're fine. Yeah.
Man, what an incredible experience, Greg.
Thank you so much, Chef John Hill, for turning us on to this gentleman. Blue Star Seafood, Southwest Florida. And again, it's one of these places where they serve this locally. They've actually made a lot smaller service perimeter so they can take care of their customers as best as they possibly can. Michael's going to break down one of these fish. We're going to bring it right to the chef, and you can't get any fresher than that, can you, Michael? Thumbs up.
Right. Exciting. Greg, wasn't it wild? He's right here. I mean, that mouth, the way it expands open that large. Yeah. I mean, bigger than any of the other fish. Just, all right.
Let's look at that.
Take them over here.
It's about as treated as you can get here. Okay, Chef. This is special.
You might want to come on the other side.
On the other side. Sure.
Great, cleaned it.
So just kind of tell us what you're doing and how you're approaching this and breaking it down.
Well, it's very simple. We're just going to take this top half right here. I'm just following down the spine. Just trying to keep my tip right along the spinal bones right there. This fish, though, it is a little bit trickier. It does have a bone that runs straight down the middle, about all the way down to about this far to the tail, which is called like the pen bones. Unlike the other like snapper and grouper at the end right here. So almost when you get it, you almost have to separate the fillets once you already have it cut. Just how far those pin bones run down the fillet. So I'm already hitting it right here. So I'm just gonna cut through these bones. And then I'm gonna reach over to the other side of them and then start going down the bottom half of the fillet. Right it. Just right down the rib bones a little bit. As soon as I pass the rib bones, just cut down, flip it over.
Ooh, you just make that look so easy, and I know it's not. You can really destroy that meat if done improperly.
Yes, and I do so. I generally don't on the cutting table as often as I used to be, but they had some other guys in here that really show you how fast they can do it and how clean they can do it.
Those bones.
I can get through.
Scaling a fish. When do you need to scale a fish?
Well, you generally on most of the smaller fish, if the chef wants to sell the whole fish to the customer or serving for 2 people, it's kind of popular to use one of like yellowtail snapper, like a 2.5 pounder, and serve it to 2 people, the whole fish, and then you would want to scale it. Also, some of the salmon, some of the chefs like to serve the salmon skin on, so we would scale that for them here too.
Nothing like a sharp knife. So this meat, I mean, you can grill this, you can you can do so many things with this.
You can. It's a nice, pretty firm fish, so it won't flake up too easily. So yes, you could throw it on the grill. You can do pretty much anything that you could want to do with how preparing a fish, and it'll hold up pretty nicely. So now I'm just, these bones here that I was speaking of earlier, these pin bones, the way they go too, they actually curve underneath the meat, so they're kind of a little bit tricky to take out. So I got to go underneath the fillet a little bit to remove it, but yep, that's there. And then a Blue Star too. We generally want to give the chef like 100% usable meat. Some of their fish too, like the salmon, they'll have a lot of belly and stuff on there, but here at Blue Star we always trim up the belly pretty well, even though it's more costly that way for us, but we want to give the chef like 100% usable product.
I know what Brian's thinking right now. Okay, how much did that fish weigh total, and then how much can you actually sell?
With the yield out of this, I'm guessing with the golden tile, I think our yield is somewhere probably right around like 34 to 38%.
Of live weight.
Yeah.
Wow.
With the way that we do it, some other places they'll leave the skin on and pen bone in, but if you're removing all the skin, all the bones and everything, yes, you're going to only get, I think it's right around like somewhere around that area of usable meats.
Well, and if you're a chef, you want someone to bring you only the stuff that you can use.
Well, they do, but
Unless
they
you
look
got
at this
something
too,
else.
and they go, "Oh my God!" Well, we know chefs that'll do so many great things with just that.
Yeah.
But to get this is incredible. So you get shrimp tonight. We get this. Wow, what a treat!
There you go.
This is fantastic. This is coming your way. It's Chef Andy
Hyde.
Andy Hyde.
Chef Andy Hyde. Tell Andy it's coming his way.
Yep. Coming to you, Andy. Get ready. Fire up that grill.
That's good stuff. Okay. This is about as good as it gets. This little tour has been fantastic. It's really made our trip so worthwhile. So we
glad you come.
Thank you
Enjoyed
from the
it.
bottom of our heart. We appreciate it.
Nice meeting you guys too.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you.
Blue Star Seafood. It's the best of the best in Southwest Florida. And if you're in Naples, there's a good chance you're eating this fish.
Yep. There you go. Just ask for it.
Thanks again. Here it comes. Chef Andy, it's on your way. All right, Blue Star Seafood, Michael.
All right. That was Blue Star Seafood with Michael in Fort Myers, Florida. Now I'm going to play a interview from earlier today with Chef Rebecca Weitzman from Logan Street, Denver, and also Jason Snopkoski. I may have butchered that, but I'm going to play their interview, and keep your eyes out for Fall Dinner Series, right? FallDinnerSeries.com. We're going to have 5 chefs, 5 nights in a row, the same ingredients, but with different menus. We're going on another road trip. Tell me about it, and we're going to source some awesome Colorado produce and proteins for you. But FallDinnerSeries.com. Keep your eyes on that webpage so you can get your tickets. Now listen to this interview.
Okay, this is a cool one. Brian and I were driving from Fort Myers Beach to Naples, Florida, and we thought, what better could we possibly do than catch up with our friends back in Denver, Colorado? Chef Rebecca Weitzman, how are you? Good to see you.
Hi, good to see you.
Yeah, and Jason, how are you, Snap?
Doing great, doing great. We've got a big wine club pickup event this weekend, so getting busy.
Well, hey, can you tell us before we get started? That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, we have a nice wine club. We do quarterly releases. Tends to be some exclusives, stuff from our library, new releases, things of that nature, and so every quarter we typically throw a nice little party to celebrate that, and everybody comes in to get the wine. You know, we've had to pivot a little bit, and we're doing it more as a reservation for our club members, but it's good to have our first club release pickup party event in about it's the last 2 we weren't able to do, so it's been over 6 months.
Last
Wow,
week,
that's so
to get
cool.
everything
Wine
to go. At least they can come in and get it. this
Yeah.
time.
A wine club is something that as we get to know and love Carboy, you got to get in that wine club, because there's just so many great things and events that you guys are doing. And speaking of events, here's a cool one: Fall Dinner Series in your backyard there at Logan Street. And
Yeah.
Chef, I can't wait for this to happen. We wanted to brainstorm with you if we could for a minute. So we're going to be back sourcing delicious ingredients, and we want to talk menu with you for a minute, if you don't mind, Chef. So your dinner is on October 2nd. It's a Friday.
Yeah.
We haven't even released ticket sales for that yet. But, Brian, we're going to get the same ingredients, and 5 different chefs are going to use the same ingredients. But talk to Chef right now about what's the best way for quantity-wise, what we have, what's available. Let's kind of just brainstorm together real quick.
Right on, Chef. So what Greg is referring to is yesterday we're on the phone with one of our meat producers, the protein guys,
over at Harbor Feeders. And we were talking about how much, if we wanted to offer each chef the ability to do 3 different types of Colorado protein. So we have fish, which is going to be from Frontier Trout Ranch. It's going to be some trout. And then each chef is going to get 1 or 2 char. Now, that was the secret, so hopefully other chefs listen to that. He's raising Arctic char as well. And so
I actually just got a sample of that yesterday. I cannot wait to try it.
Oh, wow.
I'm super excited.
Nice.
We're feeling like we're going to overfeed people with the quantities. We talked to the lamb with the lamb producer, so we're going to do lamb, beef, and fish.
And I was thinking 4 ounces of lamb for each person, 4 ounces of fish, and a 6-ounce steak. But the lamb guy was saying, yeah, Brian, that might be a little too much. And so we wanted to get your opinion on how much, if we were going to give every person 3 proteins, how much would enough be?
Advice.
I would say probably like 3, 4, and 5. Probably 3 fish, 4 lamb, 5 beef. Maybe if you were doing beef as your entree, or if beef was your mid-course, I would reverse that.
Should the chefs get the exact same cuts, exact same ingredients, or should they be able to draw from a different, like say if it's lamb, would you want to do just I don't know, would you want to do all a rack, or would you want to go outside the box? Would you want to try a different cut? How should we approach that, since they're wondering?
I think probably the chefs should pick which cut they want depending on what course they're going to use it for. I mean, somebody might want to do a lamb appetizer and a beef entree and use a different cut. So it might be good if they got to pick whichever cut they wanted. Right, Jay?
I think so, yeah.
That would keep some variety too, as far as the dinners go. I mean, the dinners are going to be so different anyway, but
yeah. How about produce?
That's a good way to go.
How about produce? Does everybody get squash? Does everybody get green chilies? Should every ingredient have to be incorporated in? How should we approach that as far as what would you like to see? We'll go that way. What would you like to see as far as an ingredient list?
I think it's kind of fun when you are kind of forced to be a little bit more creative when it's a mystery basket and you have to use everything that's in it. Like, that's super fun. So, I mean, I would enjoy that, but people might be more selective. I don't know. I kind of like that kind of thing. It's fun.
You're open. Okay, cool.
You got some world-class chefs there. Put a little challenge into the mix. Make them work for it a little bit.
Yeah, right.
That sounds fantastic. Okay, and then did you pick which brewery and distillery that you would like to accompany Carboy Wine as well?
I think Craig had reached out to Odell. We have a good friend that works there for the brewery, and then Breckenridge Distillery. Is that which? That's right? Breckenridge Distillery.
I think we were talking to Litch up at Breck, and then I think we were going to talk to Rob Masters and Nick Touch over at Family Jones. So one of those two.
Wow. Okay, fantastic. Okay, we're going to be out there getting ingredients for you guys. What else can you think of? Is there anything that you would really like to play with that time of year? What will we have, Brian? We'll have potatoes. We're
going to have potatoes. We're going to have Petrocco. Now, we need to get a little check-in, but we're going to give everyone a squash. We just today, I've got some exciting news. Smith Family Farms is going to be giving us the first batch around town of an organic baby salad mix for all the dinners. So that's going to be
awesome.
Something that everyone gets to start off with. And then, but then Petrocco is going to come in with some larger leaf and cauliflower and veg, some squash, and hopefully we'll have to see what happened back there with this cold.
Yep.
But then definitely some potatoes.
Yep.
We're going to tie back in, and mushrooms are going to be back on the menu because I always feel like mushrooms are sort of Colorado in so many ways.
Absolutely.
And What else? There's going to be some microgreens. We've got
Well,
three kinds
Pueblo chilies that we're going to get
Pueblo
to.
chilies down from Millburger. I'm trying to reach out to Shane and check in how we hook up down there. We also have a connection on the western slope from another small little farm as well that I've been working with for years. So, yeah, we are and apples and pears.
It is. Mine is some apples.
Apples and pears from the Talbot family.
Nice.
And they're also providing a little spritzer for the start of every dinner, as well as they have their cider. So that's a fun announcement that they're going to be bringing some gluten-free cider to the show.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we work pretty closely with them. We buy a lot of grapes from the Talbots, so it'd be nice to have them involved.
We're going to be making the visits and the trips, so you guys be ready for us to check in early and often with you guys while we're out on the road. And it's going to be fun getting together and doing a fall dinner series there in your backyard at Logan Street, attached to Carboy. And you guys, thanks for joining us today.
Man, we're looking forward to it.
Thank you so much for having us. Yay.
This is Colorado at its finest. Okay, be ready for it. FallDinnerSeries.com, Jay.
FallDinnerSeries.com.
That's right. FallDinnerSeries.com. Bye from Florida. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.